Hi everybody, Howie here today to talk about NFC scanning and TracerPlus and TracerPlus Desktop. We've just released TracerPlus with NFC support, and what it allows you to do is take any Android-based device that has an NFC scanner, which is most Android devices nowadays, and start scanning NFC tags into your TracerPlus applications. NFC is available again on many different phones, so you could just buy consumer-grade devices and scan NFC tags, and there's no requirement to buy high-priced barcode readers or even UHF RFID scanners to incorporate the scanning abilities inside of your TracerPlus application. So we're seeing a lot of new opportunities with NFC in TracerPlus. A lot of our customers are coming to us and saying, hey, my guys have a requirement to scan barcodes out in the field, but they're just printing up fake barcodes and scanning them at home or wherever they are, and not really giving proof that they went to the site to do the job or scan the actual item that they're supposed to. So that limitation is removed with NFC. You can rely on the fact that the user is scanning the correct NFC tag and capturing that information into your TracerPlus application. And also NFC supports very fast scanning with these devices. So you don't really have to hunt around for the barcode. You want to just tap the NFC tags and they'll each be scanned within your TracerPlus application. So there's a lot of cool applications out there for NFC and TracerPlus. So let's go ahead and take a look at setting one up within TracerPlus Desktop, and then we'll come back and show you how it's scanned.
Video tutorial will show you how to set up NFC scanning within your TracerPlus Desktop project using TracerPlus 9.2 and a supported Android-based device. So here I have a pre-configured TracerPlus Desktop project. This project is made up of two sessions or two forms that will be loaded on our Android device. The first is an Nfc Inventory Form, which will simply allow the user to select the location and then start scanning the NFC asset tags that are within that location that the user has selected. And it will basically build a list of assigning all of those assets to that particular location. So it'll show you kind of a mass scan of the NFC tags and how you can quickly read the NFC tags using your Android-based device for a particular location and scan those relatively quickly into a grid control on your TracerPlus form. The second session I have here is called NFC Clock In or Clock Out. This session allows you to clock an employee in or out of a job site. Basically, you select the action, which is clock in or clock out, and then you start scanning the NFC badges using the Android-based NFC reader on the device. So let's take a look at these two sessions. The first one is the NFC Inventory. This one here is where the user would select the location from this location dropdown and then start scanning NFC tags into the NFC tag field, and it will capture along with that information the date, time, as well as an audited by who actually performed the scanning on this mobile device. And all of those records that are scanned kind of in a mass scan way will be accumulated in this grid control down below, and when the user is done with that location, they simply hit the submit button and it'll save all of those NFC tags and assign them to the location that was selected by the user. So the only thing you really need to do within TracerPlus Desktop to turn on and enable NFC scanning is jump over to your data capture session settings for this session and just make sure Enable NFC Scanner is turned on. Once you do that, you can start scanning NFC tags into any one of the fields on your TracerPlus Desktop form that you have configured within this session. So really what we want to do is force NFC input into the NFC asset tag field. We don't want to allow the user to scan the NFC tags into, say, the location or any of the other fields that are on our form. So what we'll do is add a new smart form rule to our project and change the rule type to be NFC Read Complete, and then select the destination field to be the NFC asset tag. Now basically what this does is that just anytime the user scans an NFC tag, it will always place the resulting value that's scanned from that tag into the NFC asset tag field here, basically making it easier for the user so they don't have to worry about where the focus is on the form and making sure that they tap into that NFC tag field. So this will make sure that any tag that is read will be forced into this field, and you can very quickly go ahead and set up the or scan for all of the assets for that location. Okay, now let's jump over the Clock In, Clock Out form. Here is our NFC Clock In, Clock Out form. This one is very simple. It simply has an action dropdown, which is an action of clock in or clock out, followed up with a badge field, and this is the NFC value that will be read by the from their NFC badge tag that the user will clock in or clock out with. And the final field that it captures is a date time, just to capture when they were clocked in or clocked out. So in this form, we're going to do the same thing as the first. We're going to jump over to the data capture settings for this form. We're going to just make sure that Enable NFC Scanner is turned on. And then we're going to go ahead and set a smart form rule to say we want to force anytime an NFC read is complete, we want to set that value to the badge field. Now in this form, the badges are set to auto-submit for that field, so that any badge that's scanned will be automatically saved upon scanning, so that that user is complete with the clock-in or clock-out process. So it's very simple. They just scan the badge. The NFC value will be forced into that badge field on the form, and the record will be saved and submitted to the TracerPlus database. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just deploy this to our mobile device. I'm just going to hit the Build Deploy button here. I'm going to select the device that I'd like to push this project out to. I'll select this Asus Nexus 7 here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the Deploy button, and this will package up the sessions that we've created for NFC and push them to our connected Android device. So now that the deployment's complete, let's go ahead and take a look at using these out in the field, and it'll show you how the scanning process works with NFC and TracerPlus. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Okay, so now I'm going to demo the applications that I just deployed from TracerPlus Desktop, just to give you guys an idea of how easy it is to scan within TracerPlus and using the NFC scanners. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is jump into my Nfc Inventory application. The first drop-down you're presented with is the location, so I'll go ahead and select my location here, room 203. And at that point, it jumps the cursor down to our NFC field, and I'm just going to go ahead and scan these tags. Now I have 3 assets here that I'm going to scan, and you'll see how easily you can scan these assets into TracerPlus. And once you're done, you have scanned all of those assets into the location, and you're all set with that inventory. The next thing I'll do is jump out of this Nfc Inventory application. Now I'm going to go into the Clock In, Clock Out form, and I'll go ahead and check in Genevieve here by selecting Clock In from our dropdown. I'll take her badge and scan her badge into TracerPlus, and it'll go ahead and submit that as clocked in as a new employee. Later on that day, you can go from the dropdown and select Clock Out and scan the badge again. So thanks for taking a look at NFC with TracerPlus.